and welcome to the Courtesy Flush. Over there, Naresar just in chat talking mad crap. I don't even know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you just chose not. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is.
I was kind of chuckling, but obviously not chuckling not loud enough
for the microphone to pick up. Yeah, and look, here we are. They're the possums. They're here. Get out of the way there, Nick. There you go. Look, yeah, look. There's the possums. They're sitting on top of the MT32, which this game does support. And so we're going to use the MT32, and I thought I'd just leave the camera on this. And I don't know, just something different to try out. Hope you guys enjoy it. I can zoom in more if there was something interesting on the display, but this game doesn't actually have anything come on the display that's like Legend does or Sierra for some reason. This game was actually made by Electronic Arts, believe it or not. And I know, believe it or not, they actually used to make games. This game came out in 1992, and I think it won an award for like, I mean, I don't know if it counts because it was 1992 and I don't know how many games were made at the time, but it won an award for like third best adventure game of all time or something. I have no idea. So it has to be okay, you know, at least at that much. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna load this up. Yes. We're gonna get right into this. So let's do that. Let's get into that. There we are. Look at that. There's no sound in this part of the intro for some reason. But there it is, EA Electronic Arts. Man, look at this fancy intro. This is great. Hey, Kai, how's it going? Yeah, the flames. Yeah, bet. There we go. Had to turn it up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That was super fancy for 1992. No kidding, it's fancy now. Rawr. Fuck. Kitty broke glass. Do I have a pet crow yet? Not yet. Not yet, Cav. One day. Where's my hand? There I am. One day.
Tax collector.
Oh, the night owl. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the courtesy, man. The mystery of how this keeps happening every month deepens. Thank you so much, Night Owl, for the courtesy. That lady just saw that murder happen and ran inside.
I mean, I don't blame her. Like, generally it is advised to run away from murders.
Especially back then. Extra, extra, the Ripper strikes again.
Yes?
Begging your pardon, ma'am. This is a note from Mr. Holmes from Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard.
Oh, is it?
Oh, very well. I'll see that he gets it. Thank you, Constable.
Lestrade couldn't bring himself down here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's been a few years since I've read Sherlock Holmes, but I'm sure he's doing.
Have you been sufficiently fortified by Mrs. Hudson's murderous copy, Watson?
Maybe.
To put your mind to this mystery?
Whatever are you on about, Holmes, so early in the morning?
I'm sorry to interrupt your reading, old man. Mrs. Hudson has just delivered a very intriguing note.
I say.
Would you care to peruse it?
I do. I would like
By
to
all
read
means.
your mail.
Mr. Holmes, a young woman has been brutally murdered outside the Regency Theatre in Oxford Street. The evidence here suggests that Jack the Ripper has emerged from under his rock in Whitechapel and struck savagely in Mayfair. Despite your contention that the Ripper's work is without motive and therefore not suited for your methods, I believe you would find this case of interest, and the Yard would be most grateful to hear your opinions. G. Lestrade.
I will not deny his request. Watson, if you would accompany me, I should be glad to have you at my side.
With pleasure, Holmes. Lestrade seems finally to have recognized the value of your investigative techniques.
My blushes, Watson. Your compliment will turn my head. Let us see if I am truly worthy of it.
Okay. Software and design programming, Mythos Software. Game design and development, R.J. Berg and Mythos Software. Original story, Eric Lindstrom and Mythos Software. Producer, Christopher R. Earhart. Music and sound by Rob
Isn't it a little
Hubbard.
bit early for credits?
That's because they know that you're not going to make it to the end of this game. They're like, we're just going to show it to you now. We know you can't beat this. You're going to need a guide. You guys are not this good.
I mean, maybe, but rude.
Steve Murray just said this game was way too hard. They just put the credits in the opening. And the technical director, Scott Krauss, is like, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. I'm making things up. I have no idea. Yeah, special thanks to EA Europe and Roland Kempenhan 111. I guess Roland must be some kind of... Other than the sound company, I don't know what else that could be. Hey, how's it going, Red Baron? The Vorlons transported Ripper to the Neophyte City Dimension, says the UNC Samurai. Hello, Soul of Infinity. Yay, we beat it. Who voices Holmes? Well, that would be Naresar, of course. It's funny you say that because that's about the only dialogue so far that I've heard. We did a test of this game. Well, at least I did. And, yeah, as far as I know, that's the only part. Might be some other parts later. So there you go, Nick. There's your options. You've got your journal. You got your files. Inventory.
Okay.
There we go. Decided to turn the music up just a little bit. One of the 205 violins made in Cremona, Italy, by the master Antonio Stradivari. He's a Stradivarius. Okay, despite its value, the instrument lays within easy reach, unprotected from Watton's uncertain coordination and fluctuating humidity caused by capricious London, of course. Climate. Just the city. Climate's not the... It's a lamp. A so-called student lamp made of brass and green glass. It could be adjusted to burn with a very low flame, though it provides little light at a low setting. It uses trivial amount of oil, saves money, and renders an otherwise pitch-dark room a bit cheerier to return to. Hey, Chris. How's it going? Can you fight your way through like Indiana Jones? Wow, there's so many like details made of carved mahogany. This bookcase holds a reference works, maps, gazetteer, and the encyclopedia, toxicology, soil analysis, and chemistry texts, a collection of specialist monographs, and selected historical classics. God, break front bookcase. It means you have other bookcases you can search. Fireplace. Okay, we'll just look at stuff that you actually want to look at. And
Oh, there's another bookcase.
Watson's medical
Watson's
shelf.
medical shelf.
Yeah.
Okay. Picture. Who's our picture?
A reproduction of Clifford's portrait of General Charles George Chinese Gordon from 1833 to 1885, the hero of Chinese War of 1860. He was killed by Mahdi's forces in the Battle of Khartoum. I see.
Don't know what that is. I'm assuming British imperialness is involved.
I see. I see. Hello. A well-traded regulator clock, which keeps perfect time. The chimes have been violently disengaged, so the clock will not sound the quarter hour. Okay. I like that.
What do we have to chart out? Periodic table of elements.
Yeah.
1885. 1886. I kind of want to see what elements we don't know about in 1886.
And immediate below it are hung measuring paraphernalia with a small ball-peen air measure. So there's measuring stuff there, too.
Hurling sticks?
A set of 3 hurling sticks used in a mysterious Afghan game in which large groups of men ride donkeys over a great distance for the purpose of capturing the stuffed head of an albino goat. I didn't... That's what it says. I didn't know that was real.
Cigar boxes, alcoholic spirits, odd
Yeah.
plate or 2, common gasogene? I don't know what that is.
What's that?
Whatever gasogene is.
Wow. Over 70 bullet holes composed of script rendering of the sovereign's initials VR for Victoria Regina. This redecoration of the south wall was recently performed with a pistol as a singular demonstration of patriotism for the beloved Queen Golden Jubilee on the 21st of June, 1887.
Well then.
Indeed.
Watson's desk, sheet music, or set a... No,
That's a real game, all right. Do not tell the computer to create a foe to defeat Naresar. Oh, God, no. We don't want that.
Okay, well... Let us be off and see what misadventures we can get up to.
You can also talk to Watson. You read his Sherlock Holmes.
Come along, Watson. The game's afoot.
Oh, is it? Quite so, Holmes. Quite so. I was just brushing my sideburns. All right, we're outside. Khartoum was the British-controlled city getting besieged by local insurgents for a year. Then the British army got annihilated. Ah. You can always talk to Wiggins. You might have to click talk. Yeah.
Are the rest of your lads available, Wiggins?
They're all at the ready, sir. Tell me what you need and I'll pass it on. The aid who's willing to work, so it'll cost 8 bob a day plus the usual reward.
That's my best Victorian child you get. That's it.
My compliments, Mr. Rugby. The day finds you well, I trust.
Indeed, Mr. Holmes, business has been brisk. The great British Republic devours everything to do with the Ripper. While Jack's at work, my family's eating steak and kidney put. He probably said that with a much more street accent, but whatever. Tonight on Star Trek, location redacted is taken over by the Moriarty after Biersky 9000 tries to run an ancient floppy disk he found in the captain's cabin. No, he will not be doing those things. There is no floppy disk in the captain's cabin that reenacts Sherlock Holmes Moriarty.
Okay, so we've got not much in inventory. How do we travel?
Chris points out, case solved, newspaper salesman has motive, making money. Done and done.
We walk off stream.
Alley.
So we can go to the alley,
Oh,
Or we can scroll. We can
wow.
scroll. How far can we scroll? How big is this?
Oh, look,
game
there's Lord
supposed-
British's castle right there on the left, to the lower left there.
Oh, is that from another game?
Yeah, Ultima.
Ah, okay. I mean,
A
in theory, a
gasage-
large area, but
Night Owl says a gasogene was an early equivalent to a soda siphon or a soda stream. Its owners would fill one vessel with tartaric acid and sodium bicarbonate to produce CO2, and a second vessel contained the drink that was to be carbonated.
the trouble people went through before industrialization and bottles.
Oh, I like the little riding horse. That's cool. Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, very good of you to come quickly. After you've thoroughly examined the scene and the corpus corpus delicti, please share your observations with me. Corpus delicti? Is that how you say it? I guess it must be. Take a look at the corpse, then. Examining the corpse. A woman, approximately 25 years old, has her jugular vein viciously slashed. There was certainly the cause of death. There are several non-fatal gashes on her abdomen, abrasions on the back of her neck, and scratches on her left ring finger. The distinct odor of a particularly cloying and an inexpensive brand of perfume pervades the body.
Okay. Somebody stole a ring out of her.
What makes you say that, Holmes?
Oops. Abrasions on her neck imply that her attacker forcefully removed some sort of heavy chain or necklace. There are 3 separate lines where a chain scraped her neck, all of which are deep and vivid. What I was getting at, we'll go back to here, but I think we can see it again in a second.
And scratches on her left ring finger.
Wait. No, it's right ring finger. No, it is left ring finger.
Yeah, no,
that
it's the
you
left
put a
side.
wedding ring. No, that you put a wedding ring on.
Yeah, so somebody took her wedding
Or
ring.
engagement.
Yeah. Abrasions. Abrasions on her neck imply
Okay, that
something.
what we looked at,
Scratches.
scratches. There we go.
A slight
Ring
skin
finger of her left
discoloration
hand.
encircles the ring finger of her left hand and suggests that the victim wore a ring. The scratches results from said ring being wrenched from her finger by the murderer. By God, Holmes, I think you've nearly cracked the case.
Okay. Anything in barrels?
This is a storage area for damaged or discarded stage props from the season's plays. These items are waiting for the dust bin. The entire area appears undisturbed. So some props.
Oh, it's a paper.
It appears to be a common theater playbill.
Boring.
Cigarette.
Ooh.
Behind one corner of the crate are a half-dozen cigarette ends, recently crushed into the dirt. The brand is common and smoked by thousands of Londoners. The smoker was a man wearing heavy shoes or work boots. Given the length of the butts, his fingers are most certainly stained by nicotine. A clue
Clues.
indeed. This is a well-traveled but sturdy crate with a detachable cover. The name of the theater stenciled on the cover is almost worn away. Footprints in the dirt nearby indicate someone standing here recently.
Hmm.
We do have some precog of this because we saw it in the opening. Let's take a
Oh,
look.
there's a handbag.
Let's take a look at her handbag. It is a simple silk-lined handbag, sometimes called a reticule. The contents, a pocket mirror, a tin of facial powder, and a large metal key, a kerchief, and some caches, have been dumped out and apparently subjected to a hasty search. I'm not sure.
Somebody was looking for something.
Indeed. This 2-foot section of the iron pipe, both ends are corroded by dust. There's a trace of red paint on one end.
Yeah.
A lady's very stylish hat fashioned in fine crimson silk. How's her hat all the way over there? Didn't she die near the stairs in the opening?
Begging your pardon, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector would like a quick word before you go inside.
Oh, that's O'Brien. That would be a totally different accent. Yes, Mr. Holmes, we have much to discuss.
Anything we forgot to look at, we looked at that.
What about the ladder? No?
Nope, doesn't appear we can't look at the ladder.
What about the
We looked at the iron.
chest? No.
Can't look at the chest. Okay, so. What can you tell me that isn't obvious from the scene?
The deceased was an actress here at the theater named Sarah Caraway. She lived by herself out in Bayswater. According to our only witness, there's a sister, whereabouts presently unknown. The witness found the body, but remembers nothing of the person she saw fleeing the scene. You may speak to her if you like, though she's incoherent. She's in the victim's dressing room, through the door and up the stairs. But before you go to her, I'd like to confirm some theories of my own. After you've thoroughly examined the body, of course, I think you'll find the number and character of the wounds tell the whole story.
I'm sure your theories would be most enlightening, Inspector. What can you share? What would you care to share them with me?
Oh, of course, Holmes. I'd prefer your unbiased opinions first, if you would be so kind. Please look at the body and take special note of the type of nature of the wounds. I suspect you'll find, as I have, that the Ripper's hand is plain to see.
So we have to, we looked at.
Yeah, he's saying like there's an abrasion. Looks like
Oh, knife wounds. We didn't look at that.
the wounds were clearly made with a short blade, perhaps the size and shape of a scalpel. Close observation reveals that the blade was serrated. There's a trace of white powdery residue of unknown nature on the victim's coat immediately beside what appears to be the first of the abdominal wounds.
So something was on the knife. Seems to be
White powder on the knife. White powdery residue. Oh man, pixel hunting in this game is going to be nightmarish. The substance of the was most probably on the murder weapon at the same time of the attack. A thorough chemical analysis would most likely reveal its composition. Purse, like the butts. Flower? Have you decided? Yeah.
Have you decided on an explanation for the crime, Inspector?
There is no doubt that this is the Ripper's awful work. The fact that we are miles away from this habitual haunts in Whitechapel is of absolutely no significance. This gruesome business has his signature written all over it. I'm assuming that's what he would say next.
Yes.
Yes.
I was looking at the swears comment.
Yeah.
I dare say, O chap, what doth thou know about serpents?
I haven't seen any wigglers around in a while.
Okay, so we've got. I'm afraid I can.
Yeah, you decide and then you say it when you get there. Let's find out what's the second one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with number 2.
Okay.
You seem very sure of your facts, Strayed, but I believe there is evidence that that contradicts your interpretation.
I assure you that I have examined everything in great detail, Mr. Holmes. I certainly doubt I've missed a significant clue. What have you seen that goes against my theory?
Okay. Honestly, I'm more like thinking like jewelry is missing. That's suspicious.
Yeah, but the MO of the
dealer's
Ripper.
choice, is like a thing. But honestly, I'm going to go with number 3 because the absence of a perfume bottle being in a bag sounds like the kind of bonkers like clue that like a home story would like build into a whole thing.
If you guys ever have any say in a video game, you must make the main character always ask about snake facts. I agree, 100%.
Anyways, the absence of perfume bottle.
A large bottle of scent she is wearing sits on the vanity in the victim's dressing room. Powerful smell, isn't it? But the absence of the bottle is no mystery.
Well, how do we know?
Anyways, we'll get on to the main thing of the jewelry seeming to be kind of important. I suspect you noticed the victim's jewelry is missing. What do you make of that?
Oh,
Next. Oops.
you would be the man to set me straight, but it looks like you have nothing of material to add.
It looks like you might have skipped over it. That's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going, so I clicked again, and like at the very second that it switched over to his.
Yeah, it appears.
thing.
It appears like he thinks you're flawed.
So, anyways, killer's choice of weapon is most telling, don't you think?
Indeed, my professional eye tells me that this woman was killed with a surgeon's scalpel, and we know the Ripper uses a scalpel with the skill of a medical man. Isn't that so, Dr. Watson? From what I've read, Inspector, the answer is yes, but I would not presume to commit myself before the autopsy is completed. I must say that if a scalpel was used, it was a dull one. The wounds appear a bit ragged. Well, that as may be, I'm certain that the medical examiner will confirm my observation that the surgeon's scalpel was the instrument of death of Mr. Holmes. Do you have any credible reason to believe that the weapon was not a scalpel?
Yeah, I think number 1 is probably your best bet.
Yeah. If you look closely at the victim's coat and at the wounds, you may notice the fatal blade had a serrated edge. I'm not touching it. Well, I clicked once, but we're going to let it go for a second. There we go.
Dr. Watson, can one find a serrated scalpel in the physician's black bag? I regret, Inspector, that I know of no such instrument in the hands of any medical man.
Hidden Boss is already throwing Watson under the bus.
Always.
That is unusual, but I suspect that it was insignificant. I never said the Ripper was a doctor.
Yeah, you did. Perhaps other scalpel...
No, he said he was a medical man.
Yes, true.
I don't know, is the barber surgeon still a thing at this point, or have we moved on from that? We may have started to move on from that. Anyways.
Yeah. Perhaps his other scalpel was lost its razor's edge. He's done enough foul work with it, that's for sure, and it may be just to confuse the investigation with trivialities, gentlemen.
Of course.
Well, perhaps the murderer was imitating the style of Jack the Ripper. The gutter press has been filled with lurid accounts of the fiend's disgusting exploits.
Bonesaw, he calls himself a doctor, yeah.
Perhaps won't feed the bulldog, Doctor. I need facts. Mr. Holmes, my hypothesis is that the Ripper is responsible for this brutal murder. Because there may be a bit of confusion surrounding the serrated blade, I will concentrate my efforts on the question of murder weapon, but I would not adverse to you and Dr. Watson looking further into this entire matter, if you wish. If you may speak with the witness in the victim's dressing room, and you may want to examine the victim's flat at 21 Praed Street.
Okay.
Fact-eating
Well,
bulldog.
we're here. Might as well talk to the witness first.
You can play this guy.
You must be Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. I'm Henry Carruthers.
Carruthers.
The stage Carruthers. Yeah. The stage manager. Inspector Lestrade told me you might want to talk about the place. Feel free. I'm afraid we can't be much help. Or Sarah.
Is it the girl who witnessed the incident?
Yes, her name is Sheila Parker. She was in a dreadful state earlier, fainted dead away. As you can see, she's still very upset. I doubt she'll be able to answer any questions just yet.
Very well.
Okay. Oh, I see a shiny.
There are pink carnations with dark red veins in the petals. The startling but common effect is poorly achieved by standing the flowers in some kind of dye or staining fluid. An analysis of one of these blooms might prove useful. A note reads, Dear Sarah, what's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. A secret admirer. This misquote from Romeo and Juliet is strangely the product of a feminine right hand, with the unusual habit of dotting I's with tiny hearts. Yeah, you didn't pick the flowers up. You touched the note card.
Yeah.
This is a steel spring attached to a small square mass of solid brass. Done. Yeah, get that shiny, man.
Okay, so we picked up the spring.
I like how Sherlock Holmes is always like hands up at the ready. I think it's because he's holding his coat jacket, but it looks like he's ready to fight. A well-traveled but unexpectedly level oriental silk dressing screen. The demands of modesty forbid an explanation of what goes on behind the screen, but suffice to say there is nothing worthy of note there now.
Okay. We got a door.
The mirror is one solid piece of glass with no removable back. The nooks and crannies of the carved mirror frame, which is poorly painted on a dingy yellow to look like gold, reveal nothing out of the ordinary. And you can... Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's... Oop, pictures? What do we got? Pictures. Boxboard portraits of several notable London stage actors of the previous generation are glued securely to the wall.
Okay. Looks like Laura Bow is going to pop up any minute. You might be right on that. I really hope not. It's a bit old. It's been out of her time. The perfume...
design.
Oh, you
Apparently is-
design?
Yeah. Or scene. I don't know. I'm assuming it's the River
Sane,
in Paris.
probably. Yeah, something.
I mean, it's the French. Who knows how it's pronounced?
They don't even know. They make their own rules. We're just like, welcome to the courtesy flush, where we talk a lot of trash about the fronts for some reason. Let's take those flowers. You never did.
No, I did. I have a flower.
Okay, you do have a spring. What's the spring go to?
Oh.
Probably some kind of costume, maybe?
Why
Anything
would
of
you
note in
have
the
a spring
wardrobe?
on a-
The shells have been ripped out and it contains costumes used by the theater company. The sleeves and pockets of several garments are turned inside out, and overall condition of the clothing suggests that it is poorly maintained or that has been ransacked.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well, I mean, this is the time where people would probably want to be stealing clothes. At least I think so. I'm not entirely certain on that.
Okay.
How to speak French. See all those letters? Fuck that. We don't say any of those letters.
Okay. Yeah, let's ask about the door. What the heck? What is the problem with the door, Mr. Carruthers? Which is to say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The plate is broken. I'm attempting to repair it, but I'm afraid it's quite beyond me. I'll probably have to hire a locksmith to do the work. I wonder if it's from the door?
Yeah, well, what happened to this door?
Yeah.
Number 3, I think, is the best one.
Thought I clicked. Nope, there it goes. What happened to the store? It's been forced, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade thinks it was the Ripper. He says the Ripper broke in here and dragged Sarah out into the alley to murder her. Do you think that's what happened, Mr. Holmes? Well, we know that's not what happened.
We know that's not what happened because we have precognition of the main intro scene. Someone broke in. Someone must have tried to break in. It must be a separate crime. Or it's a separate crime that's related to this one. It could be that it happened earlier.
The inspector has many fine qualities, but he is overly fond of theatrics. It is clear that the murderer did not attack Miss Carraway here in this room.
Hey, that short nerd. Thanks for the courtesy and welcome.
And now, what is your evidence of that for that, Mr. Holmes?
The location of the woman's hat? Nah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the hat is probably the main thing. The location of the woman's hat. Exactly what I thought, Mr. Holmes. She wouldn't have had her hat unless she was going out the back door. That means the Ripper must have broken in during the performance and went back outside to wait for her. I can't see anything is missing, though. Do you know anyone that might have harbored a grudge towards Mrs. Carraway, a rival or jilted lover, or perhaps an obsessive admirer?
Maybe.
Certainly not. I can't imagine why anyone would want to harm her. She wasn't the greatest actress, but she was popular in a way and sweet. Though now that you mention it, there was a young fellow who was asking... Sorry, I clicked and it didn't advance, so based on last time it was...
There you go.
About her a short time back, he seemed rather suspicious. You want to do Watson?
What was suspicious about him? Yeah, sorry. I didn't even realize it was him because this portrait did move.
I found him hanging out in the alley. He asked if Sarah worked here. I offered to take a message, but he refused to leave his name or his reason for calling. He was just a lad, no more than 17, but bright-eyed and very single-minded. He didn't want to see Sarah so much as he wanted her address. Suspicious?
That's a little suspicious. Just a little bit. Just a little tiny suspicion.
Yeah.
Did you give it to him?
What do you take me for, sir? I don't go handing my girls over to any dimwit who just happens by, thank you. My refusal didn't seem to bother him at all, though. He just smiled and thanked me for my time. Pretty as you please. Then he said if I changed my mind, he'd make it worth my while, and that I could leave a message for him at the Moongate, whatever that be.
Yeah.
Have you recalled any details that might assist my investigation? I think I've told you everything I know. Okay, then. We can
do the
look
chair.
at a chair.
A straight back.
velveteen.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, straight back velveteen upholstered chair, probably intended for visitors. It's a bit worn, has seen better days. Upholstery is not ripped, nor any finishing tacks appear loose. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, velveteen. Yeah, it's a talking raptor.
Miss Parker, I'm sorry to trouble you. Do you think you could bring yourself to describe what you saw?
I saw Sarah lying there. Oh, it was so horrible. I can't bear to think about it.
So that sounds like a no.
She seems nearly hysterical, Holmes, and rightly so. I doubt she'll be much help with her current condition.
Okay, well, I think we have exhausted the information to be gathered here.
Possibly, Holmes. Have you considered maybe taking a look outside? Perhaps you can verify that the perfume on the body is the same perfume that is on the shelf.
Oh, well, we can certainly see.
Holmes, if you'd like to question Miss Parker before we leave, I have a sedative that might calm her.
Oh.
Yeah, let's ask about the sedative.
Yes, Holmes, I'm carrying a potent sedative. A small amount should do the trick. Try this here. Make sure to give her a small amount, only a drop. Oh, thank you, sir. I feel better, but like I'm swimming underwater. I think I can answer your questions now if my tongue will obey my brain.
Miss Parker, do you think you might tell us what you saw of this terrible murder?
I saw Sarah lying there dead. Blood was everywhere, but especially by her head. I could see her insides. A man in a cloak was running off into the street, but I didn't get a good look at him. I didn't see no more than that, sir. Honest, I just run here and fainted. I guess the next thing I know is Mr. Carruthers is waving his coat in my face. I believe she has the blood ghosts. She should do heroin about it, Holmes. Here's a small vial of it to keep on me at all times.
What was... I forget what Holmes actually did in some of the stories. He had some sort of drug in his system a lot.
Yeah, I think it was heroin.
Was it heroin?
Yeah, I believe it was, yeah.
Anyways, yes. Let's start with Secret Admirer. Do you know the Secret Admirer, the person who gave her the flowers?
No, and neither did Sarah. She was one of the apprentice. She was one to appreciate gifts from strangers, but she so liked these that she decided to keep them. Just tonight she told me I could throw them out if I had a mind to. Now, the inspector has told me to touch nothing until he completes his investigation. How am I supposed to get dressed?
So, what about friends and relatives?
No, sir, not personally. I didn't even know Sarah very well. But about a week ago, Sarah got his pendant. Big, ugly thing it was, too. And she said it was from her sister. I believe her name was Anna or Hannah, but I don't know where she lives.
Okay.
I like that.
How about the perfume? This perfume was a gift, wasn't it? Do you know who gave it to her?
She said it was from her special friend, but I know nothing about him. He called her from here from time to time, but she was very secretive, always making sure everyone was away before she brought him up. As far as I know, he's the only man to see the inside of this room, other than Mr. Carruthers. I have no idea why he didn't want to show him off.
Oops.
That's not good. Hey, twin-linked flashlight, too. Greeting. Hello.
Do you know anyone who could be responsible for this brutal attack?
I didn't know anyone on Earth could do such a thing as that when it was done to her. Now, I know there's monsters in the world for certain, but I can't believe they're friends of mine, or Sarah's for that matter.
Seems a little late for this, but what was your relationship to Miss Carroway?
I was her understudy. We were performing the play The Loves at Hatt Hill, and Sarah was the lead. I played Beth, the servant girl, and then I understudied the lead in case, I don't even want to think about it. That's not a motive at all.
Can you direct me to anyone who might help me to learn more about Miss Carroway?
No, sir. I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't know her very well. She was very protective of her personal life. I'm just going to have me a little cry. You want to talk to Carruthers a little more? Yeah, no, that's it.
Nope.
She did it. She decided to cut her way to the top. Yeah, upward thinking. Very apropos. What about those dresser drawers? Did you ever look through those?
I
Yeah, take the handwritten card. That might actually be
did.
useful. The chest of drawers. The chest is closed and locked. There are scratches in the wood around the lock, deep enough to suggest that it had been forced to open more than once. Uh-oh. It is locked. Maybe ask Watson. I thought Holmes could pick locks. Perhaps it's a version of Holmes that could.
This woman appears to be genuine, Watson. As a professional observer, would you say that her behavior is that of a person who has suffered a terrible shock?
She is certainly within what I would call the credible emotional range for such a person. I believe her response to be authentic, though the woman is an actress, and you yourself, Holmes, has fooled me countless times with your own sham performances.
What does the room tell you of the victim?
Well, the portraits of actors from past suggest that she was comfortable and happy in her profession. Judging by the flowers and perfume, I'd say she was more liked than despised.
Watson, have you espied any new detail? Has a blinding revelation struck your brain?
I regret to admit, Holmes, that I am more confused now than when we arrived. Yeah, I've been
Well,
getting...
that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, why don't you ask Mr. Carruthers about the chest of drawers? He might be able to help you out. Perhaps now that you've examined it, he might know.
Oh, hey. Do you have a key to that chest of drawers? Oh, I was doing Carruthers. No, my master key only opens doors. Sarah's the only one who had the key to that chest. I think she had a spare, but I don't know where she kept it.
We do. It's in her purse. Remember? It was in the list of items in her purse, was a key.
Or is that a key to her?
I don't know. I just saw that there was a key. I didn't see the descriptor for it.
Because it said it was a heavy key.
Well, let's go find out.
Yeah. Really? Really?
What is
I'm
it?
sorry, Mr. Holmes. The bolt has jammed in the lock. Until I can pry it loose or replace the spring mechanism, you won't be able to use the door. Good grief, man.
Good grief,
Good
indeed.
grief.
Indeed. Very well, Holmes. How should we get out of this pickle?
You can't do.
You have to give it to him, I think. Yeah.
Why, yes, thank you. I believe it is just the piece I need. I'll have this finished in a moment if my fingers don't fail me.
Good. He's still working. Like, wait, oh, okay. Let's take the, yeah, let's take that key.
Examine anything you like, but I'll need that.
I'll need that as evidence. A large metal key. Yeah, there's a large metal key in there. No pixel hunting? Oh, there's pixel hunting. I'll tell you that.
I said all I have to say. I can only hope that my inquiries into the source of the murder weapon will reveal some new link that will lead me to this foul criminal and help me send him to the gallows. I hope you have seen something that I've overlooked, though I suspect the chance is remote. It appears that I have little choice but to report to the yard, and Jack the Ripper is no longer satisfied with hunting in Whitechapel. A citywide alert must be posted.
Indeed. Okay. Well, let's not leave. Let's go. Let's check that body a little more. Or we could try. I mean, we need to find a way to get open. I guess we could just come back.
I think because I wonder if, because it's not letting me take the key.
We can go to her house.
I'm wondering if the spare key is at her house.
Woo! Look at us go. Oh. A cheap reproduction of Gainsborough's stunning portrait of the Duchess of Devonshire, named The Stolen Duchess, since the daring theft of the original from Bond Street Gallery in 1876. Interesting. A detail that only Holmes would read. A standard two-drawer drawer dresser filled with cheap button-cloth underclothes, stockings, and jumpers. Laundry basket, huh? A capacious wicker basket. Yeah, because I can't even say that, man. Capacious. There we go. My brain didn't make the connection. I only have like 2 brain cells. A capacious wicker basket of the type manufactured in Singapore and sold in nearly every street market in the metropolis. This one contains a conventional assortment of dirty laundry. Among the sheets, towels, and female undergarments is a man's orange-colored rugby sweater. So a man lives here, or
no, a man has visited and left something behind.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, capacious.
Capacious.
Containing or capable of containing a great deal.
Now you've got to pronounce it like Italian, capacious. Now. Well, which one is the key? Oh, which one's the any key?
Umbrella? Interesting.
This is an old and shapeless classic, Broly, which has clearly survived a number of seasons. The blue muslin fabric is faded and dry despite the wet weather outside. There's a slight bulge in the fabric near the tip. Uh-oh. You may have found a secret.
Ha!
A key! Amazing, Holmes! Only you could draw such good luck from an action that's supposed to yield the opposite. Thank heaven you're not superstitious.
Well done.
Okay, so we have a brass key.
The crossbar is sturdy and topped with enough coal dust to indicate that it has not been removed anytime recently.
Interesting. Teapot.
Might be the
What's
key
a
we need.
teapot?
A serviceable typical China teapot. 100 just like it are sold every day in Wapping.
Okay. Door out, buddy.
That was a good
Okay.
little detail, man. Very good find. There's a cross above her bed.
Yeah, I was expecting something from that, but apparently not.
Very well. Let's return to the... Yeah.
Let
Let's
us
get
return to Crime Alley.
Crime Alley, my favorite.
Oop.
Scotland Yard is uncharacteristically efficient, Holmes. I appears that they've already moved the body to the morgue.
A rough outline of the murder victim drawn in chalk by Scotland Yard for reference in its investigation of the murder site. The body itself and any personal effects have presumably been sent to the morgue.
Okay. Wait, can I pick up the iron pipe? Iron bar?
Yeah. That seemed like an important clue. There's a piece of red paint on the end of it.
I can't.
I think they
Awesome.
used that iron bar to try to open up the door. You have a key.
Oh. I can't do that? Why can't I do that?
Try it again. Brass key. It says it's small. Use the bar on the door because that bar might be the red paint might be the same color of the door. Can't do that, huh? Interesting. Can't do that. All right. Hey, Blaine, how's it going?
Oh, well, what's this, Holmes? It appears to be cigarette butts.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's go to the morgue or something. Key is for the drawers, but how do we get into the backstage area? Maybe we get the key from her purse at the morgue.
That would make sense. Like it was the door key that she had. It just says RIP.
Rip. Let's see how we get there.
I know a shortcut, Holmes. We'll go down this way. We'll cross over the river, stop in a bit for tea, and then we'll be right on our way. Good heavens, Holmes. Good day, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson. You'd like to look at the body, I expect. I'll be with you in a moment, please. Look around if you wish.
A tray of medical examiner's tools, scalpels, clamps, needles, and sutures. Dead body number 2. Yeah, there's the cut. The shallow but lethal incisions across the female victim's throat appear to have been made with a surgeon's scalpel or straight razor. Oh, hey. Sir Shagio. Thank you for the courtesy. Welcome. This unfortunate young woman had bled to death from deep stab wounds inflicted in her throat and up her chest. The fatal blade has resembled the one reputed to be wielded by Jack the Ripper.
Interesting.
Even concealed by a sheet, poor Sarah's body is in shambles. Hello, Sir Shaggy. Oh, it's you, Holmes.
Hello, Inspector.
Yes, Holmes. What can I do for you?
Apparently nothing.
Well, take a look at that the tools on the desk.
Don't know. Can you pick up anything? Nope. Nothing of interest here. So apparently not.
Oh.
We looked at the bodies. Massive stone archway.
Massive masonry work supports the ceiling. It overarches a drive and reasonably well-lit room, which nevertheless seems perpetually damp. The architecture is reminiscent of Roman catacombs. Let's talk to the corner.
Has Miss Sarah Caraway's body arrived here yet? The answer is yes. We just saw it.
Yeah, so he was just filling out some paperwork.
May I see the personal items that Inspector Lestrade sent with the body?
That's not standard procedure, Mr. Holmes, but I suppose there's no harm in showing them to you. Wait a moment, will you? I'll go get them. Let me guess. There are two nearly identical dead bodies. Nearly. So far, we're not sure twin light flashlight, too. A charm bracelet. A delicate gold chain to which is attached a semi-precious violet stone. It appears to be an amethyst, or perhaps indicates that the victim was born between January 20th and February 18th. Birthstones. A handsome crimson handkerchief made of Japanese silk. Interesting.
We've got our powder.
Wood compact and tin of Morsley's number 8 facial talc with a cotton wool applicator. Interesting. It's a pog, I bet. Nah, it was an applicator. A large iron key, the type usually associated with the locks of iron gates or sturdy external doors.
Yep, that's the one we want.
Let's see if you can pick it up. I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, but I can't allow you to take anything without proper authorization. I guess we'll have to go get that authorization from Lestrade. This envelope contains items which belong to Sarah Caraway. They were gathered at the crime scene in the hope that the intelligence investigator might extract some significant clue from them. Very well. I need to run a few tests on these items while I have them here, Mr. Holmes. You're welcome to view them again whenever you like. Oh, but how do we get in? Well, let's ask Lestrade, and then if that doesn't work, I have an idea, Nick.
Okay.
He's right there. Let's go talk to Lestrade.
No, that was green.
Sorry, what?
It's Inspector Green. Or Gregson?
Oh, Inspector Gregson. Oh, it's you, Holmes.
Why not? Inspector, could you authorize the release of some of the items from Sarah Caraway case?
The Caraway case? Who's investigating that one, Holmes?
Inspector Lestrade was doing some of the preliminary work.
Oh, you mean the new Ripper case? Lestrade always gets a glamour assignments. I get what falls off the plate. I'm here on a simple suicide. 3 witnesses saw this woman leap off a London bridge a week ago. Clearly. A suicide. I'm just tying up loose ends.
Excuse me, Inspector. Concerning those Caraway items...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm afraid I won't be able to help you, Mr. Holmes. Only Lestrade can release that evidence. I left him an hour ago at the yard. You might still find him there. I must warn you, though, that security procedures have tightened up some. Tell them I've sent you and you should have no trouble. Well, then let's go find out. Yeah.
Oh, look, Scotland Yard. How convenient.
They'll just take a cab right down this way, have a spot of tea, and then stop off at the inspector's office.
Hello, Augie, in the pink and so on.
Indeed
Oops.
I am, Mr. Holmes. Indeed I am.
Good day, Constable. I must speak with Inspector Lestrade.
Sorry, sir. With all the recent troubles, we've had to restrict access to the building. Authorized personnel only, I'm afraid. Well, this is Mr. Sherlock Holmes, the famous consultant detective. It's nothing to me, sir. No exceptions. Please move on.
Ah, yes. Inspector Gregson informed us of recent changes in security procedures, but I assure you, Constable, he has given us permission to enter.
That's as may be, sir, but I takes my orders to the Chief Inspector Palmer himself, and they are no one to pass without proper authorization. You understand, sir?
Where's he at?
Hello, Augie. My compliments to you.
Very kind, Mr. Holmes. Nice to hear from you and Dr. Watson again. Is there perhaps something I can do for you?
I need to speak to Inspector Lestrade, and the constable won't allow me access to the building.
Ah, real stickers for regulations, the yard boys are, Mr. Holmes. Sorry I can't help you with that one.
Well,
Let's see. Why don't you talk to Dr. Watson?
use iron bar. No.
Just knocks him out. Like Hitman.
Let's see. Does it not seem to you, Watson, that the English municipal architecture is one of the most depressing art forms known to man?
Judging from this building, Holmes, I would say you have a case.
Shall we try to raise Lestrade, Watson?
Carry on,
Oops.
Holmes.
No.
Bit of a pickle, huh?
Guess we gotta find a way to... Hey, perfume shop. Bell's perfume shop.
Yeah, well,
Parfumery.
Good day, gentlemen. My name is Bell. If you require any assistance, please do not hesitate to ask.
The case contains a number of beautifully crafted, hand-blown bottles in brilliant blue glass. The obvious quality of the bottle perhaps conceals the less than obvious quality of the scent.
ooh, cleaning girl. Let's talk to her first. I'm looking for a certain young man who purchased perfume from this shop recently.
Beg pardon, sir. My mistress don't permit me to converse with the clients. She says me talking to you, I'm sacked for certain.
Well, rude.
Two of the season's woolen winter coats are on display. The fashion-conscious may notice that this season's garments are not particularly distinguishable from last season's.
Oh, lilac gown.
Next season's most extravagant entry in silk and organdy, virtually guaranteed to attract the newest crop of debutantes as moss to a flame.
A comfortable and elegant straight-back chair intended for the languishing companion of the client currently being served by the dressmaker. The perfumery also houses a dressmaking shop. These stairs lead to a fitting rooms intended for a select group of respectable ladies of a certain age and station by appointment only.
AKA money.
Yeah. I'm looking for a young man who purchased some perfume from you recently. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I
was trying
assume
to
your
decide,
YouTube
like-
is banned profanity. No, I assumed that it was banned for a long time. I didn't know. I may be able to help you. What scent did you want to purchase?
Eau du Sein.
Oh, that is a very popular scent. Of the quality perfumes, it's the most modest price. What does this young man look like?
I regret that I have nothing which would permit me to formulate a description.
Then I'm afraid I cannot help you. I have several bottles of Eau du Sein every week, most of them to gentlemen. Good day. No, thank you. Maybe try giving it to the help?
Nope.
Maybe the card will help?
Mm-hmm.
Upward thinking
Potentially.
suggests. Oh, Desane. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, every item on everything cause friction and vent fusion reactors. I'm sure that's exactly how that's supposed to work.
You can't.
Don't worry about it. No, thank you. They don't want your inventory items. What else you got? What about your file? You have a journal as well.
What
was the name of the
file?
place you said he could be reached at? He said Scotland Yard. He said the security would be raised up, though. And we can't get in there because for some reason security won't let us in. Check your journal and files, Nick. You might have something interesting in there.
At Baker Street, though he was loath to show it, I do believe Holmes was truly gratified.
Oh, this is
Inspector
Watson's
Lestrade's
journal.
note. Yeah.
I thought this was Sherlock. Oh, Sherlock doesn't write anything down. I forgot. He doesn't really write. That's Watson. Yeah.
This is literally
It's just a transcript.
a transcript of the game.
Which is useful because you might have to come back to this and see if they said exactly what they said. Especially when we have to do interrogation.
Interesting. But we can print it.
Can you? Can you hit... No. Don't actually click that. We'll do that after the stream. Or we'll do that
Okay.
before we end the stream. We'll do that. Because I think hit print would be hilarious if it actually started printing on my printer outside. I would be really amazed if it just started using my printer. It's not supposed to be able to have access to it.
Oh.
Yeah, we haven't saved. We should probably do that.
Let's Okay.
Sherlock Holmes with the iron bar and the perfumery. He said he offered him money for the address and he left a place he could be found or notified.
I would like to purchase some perfume.
Very good, sir. What do you have a scent in mind? What
I
about
have no
number
idea
one?
where this is going.
Just go with what he was thinking. Yeah.
Yes, I know the name.
And what is the name?
Udesign?
That will be 5
5
shillings. Please come again.
So, why do we have Wait, this isn't...
Yeah, it's a different perfume. The perfume that she had is not the same one that they said it was. But what? And what does this one say? Interesting. Try using the two of them together. The proprietor is a stern-looking woman, cordial throw, whatever. You don't need it. We already figured her out. Yeah, don't spray that. Omelette du fromage.
Interesting.
Yes. The case is getting crazier by the minute, Nick. Yeah.
Would you recommend perfume for me?
Beg your pardon, sir.
Nope.
My mistress
Still
won't
the
permit me to
same.
converse with clients. If she sees me talking to you, I'm sacked for sure. All right, fine.
So,
Where to next?
that is the question, because we need to get the key. You know, let's head back to the morgue.
Indeed.
See if the inspector there has any better suggestions for us on how to get into Scotland Yard.
That's smooth scrolling, I know. Oh, it's you, Holmes.
I regret to inform you, Inspector, that your name alone is insufficient for purposes of circumventing the yard's security feature.
What? Well, of all the Come along, Holmes. We'll get this sorted immediately.
A competent inspector?
Wait, we're
Yeah.
actually getting some help? That's not... How uncharacteristic for a point and click. Well, come along, Mr. Holmes. You too, Dr. Watson. I need some papers from the yard anyway. We'll get you in to see Lestrade, and then I will return here.
Well, okay then.
This should only take a moment, Holmes. What seems to be the problem here, Constable? No problem, sir. Truth is, it's been pretty quiet. Oh, quiet, eh? If you'd like to keep it that way, Constable, then I'd suggest you allow Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson to enter immediately. But, sir, my orders are... I'm aware of your orders, Constable. Allow them to entrance on my authority. I'll assume responsibility for Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. Very well, sir. Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, you may consider yourself authorized personnel. You may enter whenever you wish.
Much obliged, Constable, and thank you, Inspector.
Wow. Think nothing of it, Holmes. We live to serve. Now I must be off. Goodbye. I do not get that out of my face. Now burn the building for Zorg. Yeah, they're not the same shape in any case.
You're right.
It actually only let me buy the one, interestingly enough. Like, I couldn't even attempt to buy another. Anyways, good day, Sergeant Duncan. I wish to speak to Inspector Lestrade.
So would half the lads in Dartmoor prison, Mr. Holmes. He's terrible busy at the moment. With all the Ripper business. He left word not to be disturbed. Perhaps I can take a message?
I need to speak with him myself.
I dare not disturb him, Mr. Holmes. He left orders special like.
Well, we get one helpful person and run into a unhelpful one.
Police procedure is not all excitement in bringing criminals to the bar of justice. The constables in the bullpen plod along unrecognized and underappreciated, keeping the important records of the Metropolitan Police up to date. Uriah Hobson's job. Squidchell's like, borrow his phone and call long distance, that'll show him. Yeah. Got anything in your inventory that can help you get past this guy?
An iron bar? No.
No, thank you. Yeah, we did. We actually beat Fate of Atlantis. A couple streams ago, actually. Yeah, we beat that. We beat Fate of Atlantis.
That was yeah, I was gonna say that was before Last Express.
Yeah, and we played Last Express and beat that. Yeah, Joss and Joe. You know, it's funny. If you go to Google search for Sherlock Holmes, the first Sherlock Holmes games, this game doesn't come up. It says that the one in 2002 is the first one by the Frogware people, which is weird because it's not the first one that was ever made, but Google seems to think it is. Or someone told Google it was.
Or paid Google.
Or paid Google, I have no idea. Magistrate on Point and Click as a grimdark point police adventure. Why don't you talk to Watson? Maybe he has an answer.
Well, Watson, we could stand here waiting for our hair to turn gray before the inspector gets a free moment. Do you have a suggestion?
Didn't I notice your friend, the apple seller, just outside? He knows the Byzantine workings of the yard like the back of his hand, or so you've told me.
Yeah. Sounds about as good a suggestion as any.
Interesting.
Hello, Augie. I need your advice on a matter concerning the Scotland Yard.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, what can I do for you?
I can't get Sergeant Duncan to fetch Lestrade for me. Do you have a suggestion?
I just might be able to help if the price were right.
I'm not in the habit of paying your exorbitant prices, Augie.
Well, we seem to be at an impasse.
What do you say, Watson? Shall I grass on Augie? Shall I grass on Augie?
Why not, Holmes?
Augie, tell me about Sergeant Duncan or I'll expose your little game to the police.
Whatever are you on about, Mr. Holmes?
You're not blind, Augie. You're shaming for sympathy. Does marvels for your business, I shouldn't wonder. I've seen the way your eyes move behind your glasses and the way you arrange your apples on the cart. Unblemished side out requires sight. You never feel for the size of a coin or bite it to test its metal. You hawk your wares more loudly when a well-dressed couple walks past, and not at all when a beggar man rambles by. I've seen you accurately box the ears of a stealthy street urchin trying to steal an apple, and just a moment ago you had just agreed to Dr. Watson. There's no way you could have known he was here.
Enough, Mr. Holmes. Let's just keep this amongst ourselves, shall we? Live and let live, eh? I'll tell you about this Duncan. The way that brute's heart is through his compliment. The man is a fool for flattery. Susceptible as a child to a kind word he is.
Well,
Hey, Mecha.
here's the
Mecha's
direction.
like, Mike, this game, I'm so glad to see this, although late. Hello. Now let's try take 2.
Good day, Sergeant Duncan. Is Inspector available?
He's still drowning in paper, sir. Mr. Holmes, you could leave a message if you wish.
Thank you. I'm sure an officer as distinguished as yourself, and a winner of the VC on top of it, knows when to supersede such an order on his own authority.
Perhaps I could get him down here for just a moment. Inspector Lestrade, please report to the duty officer's desk immediately. What is it, Duncan? This better be important. It is, Inspector. Mr. Holmes is here to see you. It's like a pain in the ass to get this guy just to come downstairs.
Hello, Inspector. I'm glad we found you in. I would like you to release some items from the Caraway murder investigation.
What do you mean by some items?
I would like to examine some of Sarah Caraway's personal effects, which he sent to the morgue. If you don't mind, I'll take some of them to further my own investigation.
Sarah Caraway? Oh, you mean the Ripper's latest victim. That's an open and shut case as far as I'm concerned, but I know your methods by now, and I'm sure you won't be satisfied until you've beaten this case into the ground. Sergeant Duncan will write you a pass that you can give to medical examiner at the morgue. If he's finished with the woman's effects, they're yours.
All right. Thank you, Inspector.
Very good. Now I'm not picturing Sherlock Holmes, but Disco Elysium style, yeah.
Well, you know, Sherlock Holmes is public domain now, so you can make that happen.
Yeah, it's public domain.
Inspector Lestrade has authorized my request to examine the Caraway woman's effects of the morgue. May I have a pass, please?
I heard him, Mr. Holmes. I have it right here.
Can we say, good day, Sergeant?
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Just X the
Okay.
count. All right, let's go to. Let's
To
get
the
that key. Yeah, we're gonna get the key from the morgue. We're doing so many steps just to get this key, just so we could get the key from the morgue.
Your Majesty.
Here's some bits to help with your investigation. Oh, well, thank you, Rider of the Wind. Rider of the Wind just paid for that bottle of perfume that's in our inventory now. That's where Holmes got the money from, because I didn't see any money in there. 200 pennies. Thank you very much.
Let's ask about anything new. Have you learned anything more of the circumstances surrounding Mrs. Caraway's death?
Not really, Mr. Holmes. I did discover a trace quantity of a curious powdery substance on her coat. Doesn't look like a cosmetic powder. My laboratory assistant won't be in until tomorrow, so it hasn't been analyzed. Would you like to see a sample of it?
But of course. Indeed, I would. Very interesting. I wonder if I might have a small quantity to analyze.
Of course, perhaps you would be good enough to report your findings to me.
Thank you, Doctor.
Of course, because he might be able to corroborate some things with you on the analysis.
Anyways, main point. I have acquired permission from Inspector Lestrade to remove some of Miss Carraway's personal effects for my investigation. May I please view them again?
Of course, Mr. Holmes. May I see the authorization? Can I have?
Naturally. Here it is.
Ah, thank you. I'll take a look. Yes. Very good, Mr. Holmes. Enjoy.
Crack.
So, we need...
And the makeup, I would say.
Oh, and the makeup.
Yeah, because the powder might be something we can...
I need to keep that item for further examination, Mr. Holmes. You're welcome to it when I have finished.
Oh. Okay, so not
maybe
that.
maybe we do that later. What other stuff can we just pick up? All right, let me
Okay.
guess. The next thing we try to pick up, it's not going to let us either.
Okay, so we just get the key. But that's all we really wanted, so...
You have to click out of this. Yeah, there you go. You have to hit the exit button, I think. There you go. Now you can do it.
Okay. So, back to Crime Alley.
Crime Alley.
Stop up here, get our shoes signed, have a spot of tea, and then we'll be right at Crime Alley again.
Ah, I see, Night Owl. Most of the Conan Doyle stories and books have been public domain for a while. But in the U.S. and a few other places, some of the stories remained under copyright. You there, Nick?
Yeah, sorry, I'm yelling at the dog.
Oh, Mr. Crothers just asked. He asked why you were in here. Nah, never mind.
Okay, anyways. We want to use brass key on the chest of doors.
There's a little of interest here, some writing paraphernalia and some yellowing, miscellaneous pages from long, mercifully forgotten scripts. The contents are mostly interesting. Facial makeup and tins and some theater playbills. Of special interest are a pair of opera tickets.
Pair of season tickets to the opera. Now, I know opera wasn't as high of a art form as it is now, but still.
That's a pretty big deal.
I say, Holmes, even though the opera tickets are almost impossible to obtain at any price, I shouldn't like the...
Oh, he clicked off.
I didn't, but I don't know, must have just timed out. I understand your reluctance, Watson, but these tickets might be very well provide the lead we need to further our investigation. Excuse me, Mr. Carruthers, do you know anything about these opera tickets?
Let's see.
Oh, that was me, too. Unless I missed my yes, Mr. Holmes, these are tickets to Chancery Opera House. Sarah never missed an opportunity to hear her sister sing, "Oh, this mystery sister." Watson?
Oh, you mean Miss Carraway's sister here in London?
Just so, Doctor. She sings all the leading female roles. Very good, I'm told. I would have thought that you knew about her. It is sufficient that we know now. Thank you, Mr. Carruthers. May we take these tickets? Yes, of course, Mr. Holmes. I shouldn't think Inspector Lestrade has any use for them.
Yeah. Well, we got the
Okay.
tickets. Hey, Squid, how's it going? Aaron Bar you were carrying. What is that from? We found it. I think
It was
laying next to the body, but it just says red.
over here.
Yeah.
And it, in theory, has red paint on it, but I don't know. I'm sure we'll find a use for it eventually.
We can go back to the lab and get things scanned, or do you want to call it here?
Actually, let's go to. Why don't we go to the home lab?
Oh, what's that?
Hmm?
What's the smoking one?
That's where we are now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go to the home lab.
Ah, there's the opera house. We'll do that, and then I think we'll call it a night.
Yeah. Very good. Yes. Let's do some analysis of the powder.
I'll just sit over here and watch.
Oh, Nick, you better learn how to do this. How are you gonna do your analysis, Nick? Come on, Nick. What's going on? Why are we not analysis? I thought you said you were a scientist. What's going on? I'm scared.
Listen, I was a geologist, which means I know like about like 60 different minerals, but they're all like mostly silicon and oxygen. So like, like sulfuric acid, maybe. Nitric acid, highly unlikely. Like, oh, calcium carbonate, I know. Calcium carbonate is what limestone is made out of. Test tube.
You could quite possibly a simple but effective source of immediate heat for laboratory work is fueled by a whale oil which has been highly refined so that it burns at a high heat and does not smell fishy. Yeah, you don't want that to smell fishy.
Can't pick up matches, which means we can't light off the test tube. Well.
Let's see here. I'm going through the manual, and what I see is nothing helpful. Check your, there might be a... Maybe you have to get the periodic table? I have no idea. Put the powder in the test tube, says D-Moon. D-Moon, are you a, yeah, let's just do, D-Moon knows what to do. Let's just do what D-Moon says. No cheating, D-Moon. Just do it with the way you know how to do science. The rolling MIDI music is nice. Yeah, it is. That's what Nana and Engie are sitting on top of. Yeah, okay, you put it in there. Rock fact 21. Limestone is a rock.
Apparently I was overthinking that. I was assuming I was going to have to pick up a match and then use a match on the oil burner. But no, we just get...
Yeah. I think that, yeah, okay. So you put what in there? What did you put in the test tube?
I think I put in. It either was. I don't know if it was just the sulfuric acid. Maybe we use residue.
Adding zinc. Just a little bit. A black mirrored surface forms. What did that say? Something about arsenic?
I looked away for a second, so I didn't see.
It said a common thing of arsenic. The chemical reaction has caused a dark mirrored film to form on the cooler upper portion of the tube. This reaction is indicative of arsenic. You found... Why is there arsenic in the powder on her? Why is there arsenic on her clothes?
You would think no good reason, but I mean, they also used arsenic to make green wallpaper at one point, so I don't know.
Is it a murder? Perhaps.
Well, I mean,
Detective, yeah.
kind of, yes. I mean...
It's
Okay.
definitely a murder of some sort. There's definitely arsenic involved.
You should probably go report this to...
And green textile dyes, fashioned to die for. Victorian era makeup used arsenic for white pigment. And hey, Corvalon, thanks for the courtesy. Welcome to the courtesy flush.
I mean, human history is nothing if not a long series of trying to
Ask
figure out
Watson.
what's going to make you least dead.
Also, ask
Um,
Watson, D-Moon says.
Oh. What a remarkable odor, Watson. Some professional guidance, please. Can the stink of carbolic acid be harmful to one's health?
Not really, Holmes. This area must be disinfected regularly. Someone sloshes it everywhere several times a day. You'll become accustomed to the smell in a moment or two.
I have analyzed the powder you found on the victim's body.
Excellent, Mr. Holmes. What were your findings?
My analysis showed it to be some form of arsenic compound mixed with soap.
That's a peculiar combination. I can tell you that arsenic had nothing to do with the cause of death.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay. Well, I think that's probably enough for one night.
Okay, let's go ahead and save. Arsenic trioxide is a white powder, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, we were going to see... Do we want to try it while we're still on stream?
What's that?
Or do we...
Oh, hit
print?
print. Yeah, hit print. See what happens. Click on print or input a file. Oh yeah, save it to a file. Oh yeah. I don't think it printed.
Okay.
No, it didn't. It didn't print. It would have popped up.
Okay, well...
You can hit save.
Oh, well.
You could save it to a file, and then I could print it that way, but it's not the same. Anyway, yeah, that's all we got for tonight. We'll be back again on the next Courtesy Flush sometime tomorrow. We'll be playing some Ultimate 2, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys liked it. I enjoy playing this very basic version of Sherlock Holmes. It's a lot of fun. I can see the mystery getting deeper as we go. So I'm looking forward to see where it goes. What do you think so far, Nick?
It's it's definitely interesting. We'll have to see where it goes from here. I'm assuming that it's not Jack the Ripper. Just because can't be the obvious solution, obviously. So,
Well,
but it's
it's
interesting to see what clues we continue to unwind.
a serrated scalpel is pretty weird. So I guess we'll have to find out. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us here on the Courtesy Flush. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.